Businesses are growing with the need to cut costs of energy and also to provide a better environment for their staff. Complex building systems and control measures offer opportunities and challenges for facility managers. Some of the examples will be the implementation of NFC, smart robots, smart surveillance and security application, which will enable the automation of monotonous tasks. The facility manager also needs to monitor the surrounding aesthetic of the building, such as the paint peeling off from the building, which require a new coat of paint. Facility managers are needed for planning and also execution of emergency and contingency planning that might arise in the future in relation to its facilities and buildings. They also need to be alert at all times so that they are able to provide a solution to the problem as soon as the problem arises.
Recommended Changi Civil Service Club about an organization focused on facility management department. And one of the unit will be made up of the department will be operation and maintenance. And operation and maintenance will actually take care of the maintenance planning of facilities, ground and property management, controlling of facilities, and also customer service, not to forget fire line safety. Okay, so in there, they will actually plan for the fire safety, they will schedule maintenance, they will actually communicate with tenants and users of the club to ensure they have a comfortable ambience, and not to forget, they will also be the one help in caretaking of the overall of the club. Another unit will be energy and utilities, and under the unit energy and utilities, they will actually do energy management, building automation, and electrical utilities distribution system. So energy management will actually take care and ensure the consumption of energy in the club will not exceed as the club expectation, and also they do conservation of energy. And for building automation, they will actually centralize control over heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. And last but not least, electrical utility system, whereby they ensure that electricity is delivered well all throughout the club, so that the club can smoothly run operations to deliver top experience for the members. Another unit will be the infrastructure maintenance program. In this unit, infrastructure maintenance project will be planned, look through, and execute. So the team will ensure that whatever changes being done to the club is actually follows the club's objective and ensure better facility management to effectively manage the club. So they will actually look into policies and practices, security issues. They will actually look into things such as risk assessments, so and ensure that the strategy that they offer will actually better manage the club. Don't forget, there's also a mini finance department within the financial management department itself. In this finance unit, they will actually take care of the budget, setting aside amount for maintenance and also for equipment procurement yearly for the club. So they will actually look past years such as property, operation, management, utilities. They will look through and they will actually come up with a budget for the year following year. They will also be taking care of the utilities expenses, whereby they're in charge of water and sewage, electricity bill. In addition, there will be also information and technology units within the departments. So these IT departments will actually take care of all those desktop servers, and they will constantly look for new IT technology, better IT technology that can be tapped into to better help the club. So they're also in charge of data management system, which is very critical for the club members because their membership data will be stored inside. Everything will be handled by this unit. Also, not to forget the very important facility manager role. Facility manager is actually the one who oversees and coordinates the whole department. So the facility manager will also collect information for different heads of the different units mentioned above and report to the general manager, who is the one who overlooking the operation of the club. So the general manager will be an effective tool to actually relay information to other departments such as F&B or cleaning unit. For example, if there's a leaking within a meeting room, facility manager will inform general manager, and the general manager will inform affected departments such as the cleaning and also front desk operations to clean up the room and actually hold the meeting room.
We have proposed optimum design with a mix of green and sustainable facilities that caters to the aging population as well as the working class millennials. So one of the proposed ideas would be daylighting and atrium lighting. Research have shown that through daylighting and atrium lighting, it will increase the productivity as well as overall satisfaction. So by implementing the atrium light over at the meeting rooms, it will increase the productivity of our members who would utilize these rooms. With that, there will be a better productivity as staff are able to provide better services, and this will increase the satisfaction of the members. As a result, it will increase the overall sense of satisfaction amongst the working millennials who utilize the club. On the other hand, the aging population requires certain care and consideration regarding light design. Artificial light can be seen as glaring to the eyes of the elderly. So therefore, it is advised to use daylighting as it is a natural source, and it provides a space where there is less light intensity, and it ensures the elderly are able to see things clearly without glaring the eyes. Next, we'll be implementing handrails which act as a grip in case that if the elderly wants to stand up, they can just hold on to the handrails. Following which, we'll be implementing anti-slip mats to reduce chances of the elderly from falling. Last but not least, as fall can result into serious injuries such as concussion, we will be implementing good grip floorings along areas such as swimming pools as well as washrooms. And then this is to ensure that this is to avoid litigation, and it provides a good positive image to the club as well. Next will be natural ventilation and more spaces. Researchers have shown that elderly who's aged 65 and above will tend to have tuberculosis. So untreated person with tuberculosis, if they were to be exposed in an aircon room for 24 hours, they will infect 39% of the people. However, if they were to be in a non-aircon room, which is a naturally ventilated room, they will only infect 11% of them. So this shows that a naturally ventilated room would brings benefit to the elderly. Next up will be millennials. We have observed that millennials spend their time inside air-conditioned room doing their work, be it in the office or at home. Researchers have proven that natural environments are more restorative and thus confer greater psychological benefits. Also, by having natural ventilation, CSC will cut costs on heating, ventilation and air conditioning, which is HVAC. Next, we'll be implementing recycled composite granite into our boutique chalet. So what is recycled composite granite? It is actually created using leftover countertop from stone fabricators from the entire country. So we'll be implementing this into our boutique chalet on our amenities such as bathtubs, sinks and also vanity areas. So as millennials show greater interest in sustainability and business green practices, we believe that we'll get full strong support from the millennials, and they are likely to agree with our action. So in return, they will see CCSC as a club that cares for the environment.
Sustainable technology can be incorporated into CSC as it is not only environmentally friendly, but it's also cost-effective. We'll be using gearless lift systems as it saves more space and also 40% less in terms of electricity as compared to conventional designs. So we do not use lubricates or oil because it is gearless and it only uses magnet, and problems like leakage and contamination can be avoided. We'll be using motion light sensors as compared to conventional lighting is because it actually detects your movement. As you enter the room, the lights will be on, and as you leave, the lights will be off. So this actually reduces wastage in terms of energy and also reduces the amount of green carbon footprint, hence helping the environment, and it's also cost effective.
Okay, as mentioned earlier, conventional way of processing work order forms can be tedious because you need to fill out a physical work order form and then you need to transfer to the CMMS system afterwards, which can be double job for FM managers who know already what they are doing, what they already written in their work order forms. So instead of this, the mobile version of the work order forms can ensure that the details are already stored into the system. It's easier to find and sort because physical copies can be easily lost, and they don't have to do the double job. It's instant, it's not tedious, and it's just efficient for them. Furthermore, Written details on the physical document can be illegible, and this might lead to inaccurate transfer of data from the work order form to the CMMS systems. But then for the mobile version, it's just clicking on the options, and you can't go wrong unless you click wrongly, and everything is typed out, so it's not illegible.
The roof at CCSC seems to be very dirty. Not only that, brown stains are also seems to be very unappealing to the people. It is detrimental to the club's image and reputation, as it seems like no one is taking good care of the roof area. Therefore, it will be appropriate if we can hire professional contractors to help to maintain and clean the roof area.
During our visit to CCSC, we have noticed a few aging building stock that require repair and replacement, one of which is the wooden structure that is located outside of Changi Civil Service Club. So it is a little corroded and it's very visible, and probably this can be due to the rain that has been happening, which is mixed with air pollutants that are naturally acidic. So basically the corrosion of these wooden structures is visible and it's unsightly. So what we are proposing is that facility managers should constantly monitor the situation and perhaps replace the wooden blocks to materials that are more sustainable like clay or bamboo.
Our members will know this activity as our club entire area will dim our light intensity in public places, restaurants, cafes and entertainment areas. Chiller will be increased temperature by 1 or 2 to help the environment. We hope that through these events, we can raise awareness of living green and importance of conserving energy, and let members and staff know that every little part they do will help the earth, and also they can practice this at home as well. Next will actually be the separation of waste. Throughout the club, there will be actually recycle bins labeled with plastic, bottles, paper and general waste. This is actually to encourage them in participating in recycling to reduce carbon footprint. Do you know that through separation of waste, 2/3 of the waste can be reduced and they can actually be given new life to be recycled or reused. This then will then reduce the amount of waste being sent to landfill, which will then induce harmful environment